So I have some of the photos here, some daytime photos and a couple nighttime photos, and I wanted to bring them up just to get your thoughts. And I'm gonna see. Sometimes Riverside doesn't work with bringing up the media. Sometimes it can get buggy, but let me see if I can bring these up so you can see them. Do you see that
Mm-hmm.
the square with
Yeah.
the photos?
Yes.
Okay, good. Um, so this photo is one of the daytime photos where for people who are listening and they're not watching the video version, Lisanne and Kris are at the Mirador, I believe, and they're giving both the thumbs up signal.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are your thoughts when it comes to this daytime photo?
Our first, yeah, Annette.
Yeah, so that is very interesting. Um, Maybe it takes a while to explain it. So, or Christian, do
Sure.
you think we should, yeah, we talk about the thumbs?
Yeah, I don't know if Zach wanted to know what our
Our
first
first
impression
impression?
was,
Yeah,
or
whatever. If you want to talk into the thumb about the thumbs, because I know there's a backstory
Yeah.
that might be a good place to
yeah,
start.
Okay. So yeah,
yeah,
first when we saw it, I think we just thought, oh, these are happy girls, and they made it to the Mirador. They are probably proud, and they enjoy their free time, and now they can relax after that disappointed situation before with the Casa Aura, the kindergarten, and so now they seem happy. Um, but then when you know the backstory with the guide, there's a guide. We explain all of that in the book too, but I can try to make it a little shorter here. So there is a guide in Boquete, and he usually he takes a lot of pictures, and he did back then also. He usually when he takes his hiking guests to places, then he takes photos of them and him sometimes himself too, and almost all the guests have the thumbs up, and we don't know if he tells them to do that, or if
yeah,
it's a coincidence and they do it from themselves, but we
yeah,
think,
yeah. You have to understand. Firstly, I must say this is not this is not our find. Yeah, this is
yeah,
a theory that existed for many many
Mm.
years. So people found out that there was this guide
That was Plinio. Plinio.
Plinio. Yeah, we don't use the full names in our book when it comes to any kind of suspicion.
Sure, sure.
Um, and yeah, this Plinio was the guy who said he saw them both
on the way to the
close to the
Mirador.
Mirador on the 1st of April. Yeah, he later said he was mistaken.
Yeah, that he was wrong, and he didn't remember
Yeah,
correctly, so he took back his
he later said, but maybe to don't hear those questions we talk about now. Yeah, I don't know. But people in the internet ask then, what a coincidence is this? That the guy whose favorite sign is the thumbs up, yeah,
Yeah.
was on the Mirador on 1st April. On the same time, Kris and Lisanne were at the top, and they make these sign, and they never do it any time before on their pictures.
Mm.
They never did thumbs up. Yeah, not only in their holiday, but in any other pictures they didn't do this, and so that even Lisanne's mother was wondering about this picture, why she makes this thumb sign, and she thought, I think this is a kind of sad story. She thought that Kris and Lisanne was copying her because she had sent a picture of herself from that day when she burned her thumbs on the oven. while she was
Mm.
making a meal.
So she thought
So
they were making fun of her burning her
yeah, yeah,
thumbs.
because
Yeah.
a few hours earlier, she sent a picture with 2 thumbs burned and in Verband,
Yeah.
with the
Burned, yeah.
yeah,
band-aid.
bandage,
Mhm.
With the
a
Band-Aid, yeah,
bandage.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was clear for her, okay, this is making fun of me, or yeah, not evil meant, but yeah, we think on you. But later it turned out that Kris and Lisanne weren't able to get this picture
Mm,
anymore. It doesn't didn't receive it because they hadn't any internet connection anymore.
mm,
So, but yeah, if the mother of one of them herself wonders about the thumb sign, so it's no wonder that the internet wonders about it.
mm,
So, and I don't know what I should think about it. It could be a coincidence, but what I criticize on this part is that this guy Plinio said he saw them, and this guy Plinio said he was on the Mirador with 4 other people,
A
mm,
German family.
and the police, yeah, and the police, and they he also told the name, and the police didn't ask them. They didn't search them. They didn't ask them. Yeah, and this Plinio and his four fellows could really be in the last ones who saw them there.
mm.
So
'Cause didn't,
yeah,
Plinio also posted photos on his Facebook where the leaves and the rocks looked the same, so you knew it was the same day, so that,
yeah, 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 yeah,
Plinio
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
there?
yeah, 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 yeah. A few days later, yeah, and this is also something not we found out, but they are a web sleuth who checked Plinio's pictures and saw that. Yeah, what was it,
There
Annette? The leaves.
there are some bushes in the background of the photo, and the same bushes in the photo of Kris and Lisanne. And usually, because the Mirador is a very windy place, there is wind all the time, and so my guess is that after a few hours, no leaf is like the same like hours before, because it changes because of the wind, and sometimes it's really windy. But the bush, which is seen in Plinio's photos and in Kris and Lisanne's photos, and has little leaves, and these leaves are
Mm,
exactly the same. So it must be in the same day, or even in the same hour, in the same time frame, because if not, the little leaves would have changed after a while. For,
mm,
let's say, because he posted the photo, I think, on the 4th of April, and if he was there on the 4th of April, but Kris and Lisanne on the 1st of April, then the leaves would have changed, and so
mm.
that is
Yeah,
impossible.
Yeah, 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 but he even confessed to the police
That he
that
was
he has
there.
been on the
Yeah.
1st of April.
And
yeah.
So the picture is from
yeah,
that
and
day.
important to say is, we don't say that he has anything to do with it. I mean, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. But we criticize that the police didn't investigate properly. They didn't um, find the German family, the German tourists. I think I think they even knew in which hotel they stayed, but they didn't go there to find the family and question them.
Mm,
So Plinio
Yeah,
was
and you
probably the last person to see Kris and Lisanne,
yeah,
but and his
yeah, yeah, and not only Plinio. We were talking about the 4 guys in the car too. That
mm,
is kilometer from this away, and they haven't been asked whether they saw something. And then maybe Plinio with 4 other guys, so 5 guys could have been on the Mirador with Kris and Lisanne,
mm.
and everything they could have noticed could have been
yeah,
important, you
Yeah.
know? no matter if it's another guy following them, or hearing that they want to go down and hearing the reason maybe, or yeah. So if you really want to find out what happened, you have to ask everybody who was close to them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, Plinio, like you said, he may not have been a perpetrator, but it certainly seems likely that he would have had some information on the whereabouts or had possibly seen one of the people in the car. He might have been able
yeah,
to connect the
yeah,
dots if he was
yeah,
questioned.
yeah. And if he knew something, there could be reasons for him to keep it secret. Maybe he's afraid of something or somebody, or um,
Yeah. So we don't want to
Yeah.
raise suspicions, but we want to uncover what went wrong. And that's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. It's Plinio is like Feliciano. Feliciano is much more than Plinio. Feliciano is the other guide.
Mm.
Um, and Feliciano is for the internet the main murderer, the key.
Yeah, he was the
The
one that people, or at least people on the internet, suspected of being
yeah,
the
yeah,
perpetrator.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
But you know,
To him and his son's friend, the so-called Pandia. They are the most existing theories. So Feliciano and his son, we get so deep into this involvement of Feliciano and his son, that we can exclude that he had something to do with the disappearance.
mm,
Yeah, this is fantasy stuff. We
yeah,
see it on the files. We see it on al ali ali alibis,
yeah,
alibi.
and Annette, you describe going hiking with Feliciano on the Pianista Trail overnight,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you've spent time with him. Uh, you know, it just seems that he wouldn't be the type of guy, at least behavioral wise, that he doesn't act like someone that would have been a perpetrator.
Yes.
Zach, let me tell you something. This is I'm more afraid of certain things than Annette, because Annette went with Feliciano a few days after she arrived in Boquete, and we didn't know Feliciano personally, and
Mm,
she told me, "Oh, I met Feliciano today, and we will walk behind the Mirador together." So, and I was in
yeah.
Germany on my phone, and she told me, "No, she goes alone with Feliciano, the guy who 100,000 of people think the murderer of Kris and Lisanne is, behind the Mirador alone." And she told me, "Yeah, I call you when I'm back." So, and I'm sitting here with my phone, and hours and hours and hours and hours passed by, and I thought to myself, what if our impression was wrong? Yeah,
Mm,
that he had done something. So, and yeah, hard for me.
you
And
you
then
you have a lot
yeah,
of lady balls, Annette. Huge lady balls.
yeah. She has.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we checked all this all things in the files, and we can and we do in our book, um, the suspicion that is created around Feliciano can be refuted. So there are rumors,
Yeah,
yeah, but there are some other suspicious people in the internet, like Plinio maybe is, that we can say if he has something to do with it or, or not, or what he know, or if he knows something. But of course, we had to put all those people in our book.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and I
yeah,
should say
but
that, for people that are listening to this conversation, there's so much in this episode that we can't cover, like the backstory of Feliciano and his son. There's multiple theories when it comes to the crime versus the accident, other evidence, and if anyone's at all interested by anything that they're hearing in this conversation, they should definitely go check out the book Still Lost in Panama, because that's going to be the most complete context of the case files and the research, and then also, Annette, your experience actually going and questioning eyewitnesses and hiking the trail.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
appreciate it, and we promise an exciting
Yeah.
lecture.
Yeah, that's for
And
sure.
I think or what we tried and what we did is to explain everything what happened, also on a how do you say, scientifically basis,
Scientific,
scientific
yeah,
basis,
scientific basis.
but also to make it more like readable, more to fill it with some life. I describe my experience in Boquete, but all the readers don't have to be worried to not see what is our opinion and what is something we read in the
Mm,
files,
You know,
because we
yeah,
we make it
yeah,
very clear, we make it crystal clear. Every time I write about my interviews or my hiking experiences or the meetings with Feliciano, I write that now it's my experience, my opinion. That's
mm,
yeah. Annette is telling this because, of course, we read some things about our book in forums or something like that, and like I noticed it myself before I wrote the book. Um, People can go crazy if there is somebody who have another idea of all the things than other people have.
mm,
So there are guys that for years are totally sure and do everything um, to telling Feliciano is the murderer, and have their special theories and work on it day and night. And of course, they are not amused
mm.
of our book. So this then comes to yeah um,
This is very, very bad, actually, because some people even accuse me of being so naive to just um, to
yeah.
just trust Feliciano and everything he says. And some people accuse me, or some people send me messages and they say, only because you find him likable, it doesn't mean that he's not the perpetrator. But
Yeah.
it's just not true, because yeah, I think he's likable and he is nice, and but he also has an alibi, and he also never shows
Mm.
up in the file, so nobody of the criminal police Dinnerburg authorities ever found him suspicious. So, and there
Yeah,
are there are
For sure.
different
yeah,
reasons more than just me finding him likable.
For sure.
yeah. This is yeah. Let me just add one thing, because we yeah, maybe it's a little chance we didn't talk about those stuff, and we don't want to talk about it. But this is something which is related to the case, and therefore it's important to tell, because it is special about this case. I said I wrote many books, and I wrote books about controversial topics. Yeah, Wehrmacht soldiers, Nazi crimes against Germans, and even political books. And there often is, yeah, arguments between the readers.
Yeah.
But I never wrote a book where people are so aggressive and so convinced of their views like this. Yeah,
Mm,
no war in history is comparable with this, and this is, yeah, I think what makes the case so special, that Yeah, there's a really big fight between the lost theorists and the foreplay
Sometimes it's
theorists. Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't
like
work.
baseball teams or football teams, fighting
Yeah,
against
yeah,
each
Yeah.
other. It's
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Eh,
They didn't work together. So you sometimes have the feeling the facts are not interesting as long as it's not your opinion.
Yeah.
So
It's really saying something when people are sending you more angry messages about this book than a book about Nazi war crimes. It's
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah, yeah,
dividing
yeah,
the people.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
so I
yeah.
just wanted to go through, and we could do this quickly as we start to end off. I just wanted to go through a few more of the photos just to get your thoughts on what your initial reaction was, background, or both, whatever comes to mind when you see these photos. So the next one, let's see if it'll pop up. So this one right here, what comes to
Yeah.
mind when you're seeing this photo?
Yeah, this is the last picture, 507. Yeah,
Or 508?
507. No,
508.
508. 509 is missing. Missing. Yeah, yeah. This is the Annette. You were there,
I was
so
there a lot of
tell
times,
you.
yeah. So when my first impression was like the other photo, I thought, oh, that looks very nice, like a nice little stream, and they were maybe filling up their bottles because it's drinkable, the water you can drink there.
Mm,
And that was my first thought about it. And then, so I personally cannot see what some other people say because her mimic is sad, or that she looks sad or worried. I don't see that. Sometimes it's just n- not everybody is happy all the time, so I don't see anything in her face which is worrying. But what makes it very scary or eerie is that we know, because of the deleted photo, is that right after that probably something happened. So that is the last
mm.
photo of Kris, and we don't know,
Yeah,
maybe a few
it's a
steps further, a few seconds later, something
yeah,
very bad happened.
yeah. It's a
Mm.
very sad picture. It's a sad picture.
Mm. And
Yeah,
then let's see. This is the next
yeah.
photo.
This was right 20 minutes before, I think.
Yeah, that is before. That is, I think that's behind the Mirador. Christian, do you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's behind. It's the first
behind the
picture
Mirador.
behind.
Zach, you were there because so you know that there are these tunnels or ravines.
Yes,
How do you?
with a lot of yeah, like a lot of mossy,
Mm-hmm.
almost like it feels like you're walking in between two mossy cliffs
Mm-hmm.
on either side. There's a lot of holes in the the walls, like mossy walls.
Yes.
There were birds in them. Like one time, a bird scared me by flying out. I thought it was a snake for a second, so I was like covering my
Mm-hmm.
head. But yeah, it gives like a very um, you're basically like surrounded by two green walls. There's a lot of cloud cover when you get up into the cloud forest,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very beautiful but also eerie hike
Atmosphere.
toward the
Yeah,
top.
that's and these walls get even higher on the other side of the mountain. When you go down on the
Mm.
Mirador, then they get higher and longer. On the south side of the Mirador, where tourists hike, they are, I would say, like 2 meters high, and on the other side, they get up to like 5 meters high.
Oh
And
wow.
so it's really dark there sometimes. It depends on the weather if there are clouds or not. But sometimes you don't get much sunlight coming in because it's so dense. Even uh, yeah, on this there is no ceiling, but it's like a ceiling of leaves and bushes. And that photo is from these in between these walls, and I think she enjoys that atmosphere. It's also a very sunny day, so they got daylight in these cliffs,
Mm.
and I think she's making fun here. So I think they really enjoyed. Probably um they were excited about these walls.
Yeah, people say see anything, see so much things in it, tight hands and tortured face. and
Mm.
stuff like that. But
We don't see that,
no,
no.
yeah,
Yeah, it's hard to tell just by the photo because some of the photos that have been taken of me where I'm the happiest I've been, that month or, that year maybe, my face just looks calm, like I'm not overly smiling. I'm not like, "Oh, I'm
yeah,
happy." And then other photos where I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was feeling kind of depressed at that time." I don't really look sad to me. So there's a lot of false inferences that people can make about just a snapshot.
Mm, yeah.
yeah. What I told before, yeah, if we don't know who took the picture, we didn't see Lisanne anymore after the Mirador. Yeah,
Mm,
they didn't make any selfies. The whole day they made selfies together, but behind the Mirador is only Kris from far away to see. And yeah,
mm,
whoever makes this picture could have said, "Smile," or "Put your hands behind you," or
yeah.
yeah, we don't know.
And then let me bring up one of the night photos. I think I have one here.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
famous.
that is maybe the most eerie photos. It raises a lot of questions because we don't know anything. Like we said before, we wonder a little bit about how clean the hair is. It doesn't look
Mm,
like 8 days in the jungle. And yeah, some people see a face behind the hair.
Yeah, nostrils and teeth on the right side, and there's also Lisanne's hair, the brown hair, and they see wounds and everything like
mm,
that. Yeah, but and if you really concentrate on those things, you really can see faces in it. But it's a psychological phenomenon.
mm,
Yeah, it's called pareidolie,
At
pareidolie.
least in
Yeah,
German.
mm,
so that your
yeah.
your brain makes sense of senseless things.
Mm,
So it's more fantasy. We don't know what we see there, and what I'm concerned about is that there is only this to see. Yeah, I wish to see a face showing that Kris is alive, or
mm,
showing that this is Kris. Yeah, she can lay on her belly, she can sit, she can stay. Yeah, some people say it's the head from above. Some say it's from behind. Some say the hairs comes from comes from
From the top and is covering the face. That's what people
yeah, yeah,
say.
mm,
yeah.
Yeah. So
And we don't know. Is it on a purpose? Is it by coincidence? What what should this picture say to us?